Hey guys, it's Gladys. Welcome to episode 3. We are going to talk about C-sections. Are you a real mom or a fake mom? The most controversial kind of topic when it comes out to birth. So, super excited.
Yeah, I am excited for this. Hey guys, it's Jess over here. I am excited for this because let me tell you, well, I'm not going to share just yet what, but I definitely wanted to go a different route. But this is the last episode of the year for 2022, episode 3. And it's crazy to say that it's already the ending of the year. I feel like I was just doing my vision board for 2022, and now we're at the end, just a few days down.
I know.
Crazy. Hey guys, I'm Janeri. I hope you enjoy episode 2. Now let's get this going. Alice?
Oh man. So, I had a C-section. It was definitely not planned. I tried so much to go natural that I pushed my labor to 36 hours because I was like, nope, he's fine. His heart rate was fine, everything. And we tried everything. We tried balloon, we tried the epidural, we tried Pitocin. I was in 25 hours of labor before anything. And nothing happened. The doctor came in and was like, listen, if he's not out by this afternoon or something on his own or making some type of progress, because I only opened up to like maybe 3.25 of a centimeter. So I didn't open up anything. So the doctors was like, listen, unfortunately, when it came out to 7 o'clock at night, they had to have the conversation with me and was like, listen, we waited as long as we could have before we put you into the stress. You know, the baby's heart rate is fine, whatever, but if we wait any longer, God forbid, we might be putting you and him at risk. So I had no choice but to get a C-section. It was not ideal, but then I was very thankful for it because Kaysen came out 9 pounds and 12 ounces. Like this
That's
kid
big.
was, yeah. So he was literally right in the cusp of only being like 10 pounds. So, and then we found out that his umbilical cord was actually wrapped around his neck. So very thankful. Like you see, God has a plan for everything and everyone. Like it wasn't originally my plan, but it's what Kaysen and I needed in the God's hands. Because if I would have tried to push, God forbid, I would have went into the stress trying to really push him out. And God forbid, with the umbilical cord, everything wrapped around his neck. So that was not ideal, but it was okay. The recovery, I just kept thinking to myself, because they always tell you about C-section. It's like, yo, the quicker you move, the faster you're on your feet, the more that you're like, active and moving, the faster apparently your recovery is. So that's all I kept in mind. So while I was trying to recover with him and almost a 10-pound baby, like I'm here still fixing up the house. I'm here doing everything because I figured I needed to continue to like, move and heal, which I ended up causing myself an actual infection doing that because I never let my body rest.
That happens. I think that's very common, if I'm not mistaken.
Unfortunately, it is. So I caught a slight infection. Thankfully, it could have been worse, but people sometimes do get it worse. Thankfully, it was very catchable in the beginning, but it was not fun. But I'm very thankful for how it happened because of what obviously I needed for it to happen. Jess, I know you didn't have a C-section, but you gave birth naturally to Alexa. How was that? Because I obviously I wouldn't know.
So before we get into my birth story, right? So for those that are listening, if you're like not too sure the difference between a vaginal and a C-section, right? Something that I did not know before was that a C-section, you're getting cut open right through your 7 layers deep. That's insane to me, right? So C-section, I applaud every woman that gives birth that way because I know that it's also not optional, right? Like there's a reason to it. And you're put at such a high risk, right? So I applaud you, super women that go through that.
And girl, they expect you to take care of baby right after all that surgery and all those layers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine taking care of baby after all that?
It's insane. I mean, giving birth, period, I can say it's very scary, right? When I got pregnant, I was scared. I found out at 2 weeks and I never previously. I never planned to be a mom, so it was definitely a surprise. A long pregnancy because again, I found that at 2 weeks. So the day before I went into labor, right? I'm gonna share a little quick story with you guys. I took 2 shots of castor oil, and that
Oh
thing
my God.
with contractions at like 5 in the morning the following day. I had hit exactly 39 weeks pregnant, so I was fed up. I wanted that baby out of me. So 6 o'clock came. I was on my way to the hospital. Contractions were going, and I was that mom that had a birth plan, laminated and all. I wanted the lights dim. I wanted, some music, nice and calm. I didn't want any type of medication, no Pitocin, none of that. I wanted it very natural. But when I got in there, I was like, give me epidural and give it to me now or it's too late. I need it. I need it right now. So I got like 2 doses of epidural. But I remember my water broke around 10ish. And then I started pushing at 11:30 a.m. Alexa was born at 12:35 a.m., 12:35 p.m. So it was pretty quick birth, but I felt like it took forever. By the time that I was done pushing, I couldn't breathe. She tore me up. Alexa was born 8 pounds, 9 ounces, 21 inches. So she looked like she was 3 months. I'm like, where this baby came from?
Case it two girls
It's
and
a wrinkle. Yeah, she was not wrinkled at all. So, but with the pain that I was experiencing and the fear of giving birth, I was telling myself like, I wanted C-section, thinking that that would be the quicker route. But in reality, like you're putting your body more at risk, So yeah, I was that mom that wanted C-section, but I did it vaginally and the recovery was not easy because she was such a big baby. She tore me up. So I was in so much pain for the first month and a half.
Oh,
The
wow.
walking was very painful. But I got it done. After a month and a half, I was working out. So it wasn't
Hey,
too bad. January,
full of energy.
yeah. January, you something else because you done this twice. Tú eres masoquista like before.
And completely different stories because vaginal, that shit was so easy. That was like, my pregnancy was hard. Giving birth was like a breeze. I was just like, that was it. Like, what the heck? I was
Okay,
walking like
damn.
nothing.
I wish.
Literally, I was having contractions the day prior, but it was back pains. Like I was having contractions in my back. AJ, he was tiny. Like I said, I had a really rough pregnancy with him. He was 6 pounds, Cassie. He was 5'15". So he was tiny. But since it was a high risk pregnancy, it was scary. Like my mucus plug came out in the house. They were like, you need to come in. I was only like 2 centimeters open, but since I was high risk, it was like, you have to stay here. They broke what happened?
Considered high risk.
Because I had the gastric sleeve 3 months before getting pregnant. So
Oh
literally,
wow.
It was like not ideal because you're supposed to wait 18 months to get pregnant. And literally 3 months later, I couldn't have kids. What the heck is going on? So I was just really malnourished. No, like my irons was horrible. It was just scary pregnancy. So him coming so easily, I was just like, wow, like it was all worth it, They broke my water way too early, had to put water back up there. When he came out, he had the cord around his neck and his arm. So it was like quick. Angel didn't cut nothing. It was just like
Either he didn't get to cut Alexa's umbilical.
So that was, and then Josiah, Bree's pregnancy. Mind you, I got pregnant with Josiah 9 months postpartum. So AJ was 9 months, me getting pregnant.
How was labor was AJ?
How long? I got into the hospital at 11. He came out at 11 at night. He came out at 4 in the morning. Literally like 5 hours.
Yeah.
But then again, the day prior, I was having contractions. I was just like winging it at home, Josiah, right? His pregnancy was amazing. Like I was good. The only thing is that I was getting therapy for my pelvic because I was 9 months postpartum. So they thought my pelvic wasn't going to be strong enough. I didn't even need a vaginal because Josiah's head was always up here. So he was always breech.
Oh,
At
wow.
37 weeks, they tried turning him. They tried to do an ECV where they turn him. He was not cooperating.
Is that painful? I've heard
It's
different-
uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable, but painful, not no. They tried at 37, he was not moving. And I really wanted vaginal. I'm like, it was a brief with AJ, like I don't want to get cut open. That wasn't, you know, I've had so many unplanned surgeries, like I didn't want this one to be planned, you know? So with Josiah, then we tried again, 39. At 39 weeks, I didn't experience no labor with him, no contractions, because he had his head up. So we went in again to do an ECV, but this time they were like, you know, you're at 39 weeks, we're gonna do it in a surgical room, just in case anything happens. So they gave me the walking epidural. So just in case they do turn him, I'm able to go into labor like naturally. But then things didn't go that way, right? Josiah's heart rate went down. My heart rate went down. Literally, they cut me open within 5 minutes. He was out. Like it happened so fast. Angel was like in the room, like, what the heck is going on? So they took Josiah out. Another one. He had the cord around his body. Came out legs, literally legs first. Le jalaron los pies primero. That's the first thing Angel saw was his leg. And then they put him, you know, to weigh him and stuff. Passed him to Angel, and then Angel passed him to me. Like it was different because with AJ, he came out, they wiped him up and put him on my chest. With Josiah, Angel got to hold him. I was literally there laying for like 40 minutes, them sewing me back up.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that quick bond with him till after. That was like the only big difference.
Did you cry with your pregnancies with any of them?
Oh yeah, of course. With both of them. They were
Yeah.
both my miracle babies because I wasn't supposed to have kids.
Did you cry, Gladys?
I cried when I found out that I was. And then when he came out, I didn't cry.
Me neither.
Because I was so drunk. I was literally high. Like I was like my eyes were like shutting and I'm trying to like stay up and like see him. I heard him cry, but I couldn't feel anything because I was the medicine that they gave me was like, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? So I didn't bond with him. I felt a little detachment at first with him. But now I love him, but it was just like at that moment, I didn't get to really experience it because the medication I was on after the surgery, laying there for 40 minutes, like everyone is literally like, Casey was 40 weeks and 5 days. Like I went over past with this kid. I wasn't supposed to.
I would be upset.
Girl, the entire hospital scheduling, it was just all bad. Thankfully they were able to like see us because I wasn't supposed to go past 2. He was almost 10 pounds. So, and I'm very little. So I wasn't really supposed to go past 2. So when it happened, I'm like, damn, okay. I'm past 2, but hopefully he can still, you know, calm down naturally because I'm like, I didn't want a C-section. But then when it happened, I felt such a detachment because I was so drugged, like I was high off of the meds. And that 40 minutes laying on that table, it's not fun when you see your kid and Kevin got to hold him and things like that. It's like not to say you get robbed of that experience, but it kind of feels like you kind of do, you know? Because that's such a moment like you have with Alexa, like you put her right on your chest, that we don't get that.
I think I kind of, como se dice, like I can relate with the missing something because Tammy didn't get to cut her umbilical cord because her breath, like she was out of breath, out of oxygen. So I felt like I got robbed from that experience. I was like, that's, I really wanted to happen.
I don't even remember if Angel was able to cut AJ's cord. I think he did, but then I don't think so. I know for Josiah for sure he didn't. My detachment wasn't, it was more because that was my first time away from AJ. You know, I was in the hospital for 3 days. So being away from him those 3 days, I was like, oh my, and then I couldn't carry him because of the C-section.
Yeah.
Like that was for me, like I cried because he wanted me to carry him. Like, papi, like I would have to be in bed holding him and then holding Josiah. That was my postpartum. I felt like I robbed AJ from, like, he was only 18 months old. Like, he was only a year and a half. He was still a baby himself. But it worked out. Like, I don't regret doing it close in age, but it was hard. It was hard.
No, I can't see myself doing that. Like, that's another reason I feel like how do I balance out two loves? Like, but that's a whole different topic. That's
Yeah,
that's
no,
a whole
girl,
different
you're giving
conversation.
away. You're giving away.
Yeah, for sure. But so we chose this topic, guys, because there's so many people that have different perspectives when it comes to C-section, right? When it comes to having a vaginal delivery. But it doesn't really matter, right? Even if you go the adoption route and you adopt a child, you go through any infertility process. It, as long as you're a parent and you're giving that love away, you're an amazing mom,
Exactly.
But birth, it's a whole other story. It's truly an experience, right? So whether you do it vaginally or C-section, you're still a real mom. I think you're a badass mom if you have a C-section. And those that have both, let me tell you, my sister-in-law, she has so many kids, I lose count. I can't, but the last two is a set of twins, right? One she pushed, and then the other one was a C-section.
Crazy.
And then
That's
you gotta
crazy.
take care of the whole like, we women do not get enough credit, and the fact that sometimes we have to go to work like a month after. I went to work a month after. It's just insane. So
No, if I had to choose, I would do vaginal for sure. For sure, I would pick vaginal because that C-section is no joke. Like, my incisions got infected. I had to have an nurse come and like patch me up. Like, that was no joke because I was carrying AJ. Like,
I don't
you
know
can't tell me
anyone.
not to do that.
No, actually, I know one person, but everyone else that has had a C-section that I know, most of them have had an infection. So, and it's also because you have to do things like how
Mhm.
DK be in bed. How?
Mm-mm.
I'm telling you, it is the only surgery where they cut you in 7 layers and expect you to take care of a baby literally hours after. Like, in other hospitals, you get rest. Like, and it's not to say that obviously as parents obviously want us to immediately take care of the baby. Not saying that we wouldn't, but it is literally the only surgery where you're expected to take care of something else. So you don't have time to heal. So it's so easy because you have to do things. Now you have to take care of a human. You still have to take care of your home. Like, that was not fun.
Girl, I could barely take a shower when I had Alexa. Like, I would have to take her with me in the shower. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so I definitely applaud all those C-section moms. And no, yes, you are a real mom. And we applaud you for that.
Listen, you're a mom regardless, even if you don't have a kid or not, like you shared. It's all as if you give your love to another little human being that needs it.
Yeah.
You are a mom and always in our eyes.
Truly. Just about, providing that love.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you guys for tuning in, right? It has been our pleasure to be providing episode 3. Don't forget to continue commenting and giving us your feedback, right? Whether it's through YouTube, through Instagram, or even through Apple Podcasts, right? We have gotten so many comments through Apple Podcasts, and we are a 5-star rating. So thank you so much for your support. We truly appreciate it. And if you have not had the chance to go on Apple Podcasts and leave a comment, please do so, right? Follow us on Instagram and make sure that you don't miss any episodes. We are airing every Tuesday with different topics.
And let us know what topics you want to hear about. Don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, guys, once we hit our 1,000 downloads, we will be doing another giveaway. So we just on today, we selected 3 winners who are our listeners, and we shipped them a little gift. So expect that to be arriving if I'm not mistaken, by Saturday.
Yeah.
And yeah, just in time for Christmas. So thank you guys for listening. And once we reach that 1,000 downloads, we will be doing another giveaway. So make sure that you guys are sharing.
So our next episode, we are going to be talking about who do you serve first? Is it yourself, your spouse, or your kid?
Mm.
But we are going to be talking about that. So leave comments if you feel, some feedback. We would love to hear your thoughts on that. Go to our Instagram and leave your thoughts.
Yeah,
'Cause
comment.
we're going to want to talk about this one.
And if you leave your comments, guys, we will share those comments here in the podcast so we can get creative with it. So I look forward to reading those comments, and we see you guys next Tuesday. Is it next year? ¿Verdad?
Oh,
Yeah. Is it
Oh,
next?
Yeah.
no.
Let me look
Yeah,
at my.
'cause the
No,
31st is on
27th.
Saturday.
Next week is the 27th.
No, not yet. Still
Not
trying.
yet.
Pero ho, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers.
Bye, guys.
I love ya.